Hey everybody, welcome to the Hammer of Smash, where we find out that we are completely ungoogleable, and we recommend you do the same. Let's talk about various things like whatever we want. By the way, this video appears first on BitChute before ever even appearing at all on YouTube. We won't get into the reasons until later in the video. Are you ungoogleable? Please leave a comment. Look for some t-shirts coming out soon with this design on it. 3C405, aka Cygnus A, massive radio galaxy. There's the high-res version of it. Please leave a comment if the gradient gave you a seizure. Shout out to Eugene Bagashoff. Let's talk about some science articles. Here's one on Cosmos. That's cosmosmagazine.com, by the way. Some indication of a correlation at the earthquake station, indicating that hurricanes are correlated with earthquakes. Now, this study is suggesting that hurricanes are causing the earthquakes. Could it be that the same factors are causing the earthquakes and the hurricanes? Is it a chicken or the egg scenario? In any case, the article not suggesting that low pressure systems are the cause or the effect, but in any case, perhaps a step in the right direction, at least indicating to people that there is a correlation between massive low pressure systems and earthquakes. Links to the article shall be below the video. Now, we see a massive filament here on the sun, and we're looking at some stuff in the northern hemisphere as well. Here are the date stamps. This is approximately 6 hours, 6 or 7 hours there, from 6 to 13 UT or so. Looking at this filament on the southern hemisphere. And also looking at this area up here in the north, as there could be a sunspot forming at a very high latitude, although it looks like it's actually shrunk back down, just a minor little glitch. And let's talk about some other science articles here, such as water towers. Now, water towers are very important in terms of water supplies, and I'm sure most people in the central U.S. are very aware of the way water towers work, in that everybody got flooded the last 2 springs in a row as a result of so much snowfall. Now, I don't know if you're aware of the way glaciers form, but glaciers form when snow falls and then doesn't melt again. And without getting all in depth, read the article and take it with a grain, or perhaps a dump truck of salt. Now, yes, if the planet got warmer, glaciers might melt. However, well, anyway, just read the article. And on a related note, here's the northern hemisphere. Oh, we're having it's zoom it. The northern hemisphere snow mass balance. If you notice, it's a bit outside of the range here, which is the 1982 to 2012 range. Really? I mean, are we really going to put out articles now claiming, according to scientists, we're very worried that glaciers are going to dry up in the northern hemisphere? I mean, are you kidding me? And yes, the article does cite some glaciers in the southern hemisphere. But listen, there's a total snow-ice mass balance going on the planet that is not understood at all. And there's a bunch of cherry-picked data out there. You want to see some un-cherry-picked data? Here's windy.com. Let's just go around. Look at how much snow is on the U.S. For those of you who watch our channel regularly, how much snow is over Greenland? It's 9 feet from coast to coast, as it was all summer long. Let's look at the webcam here. Oh, look, there's a webcam. Gee, I wonder what it's showing. You think it's showing, oh, I don't know, a bunch of snow? It looks like it's showing an icy lens flare looking right at the sun. I don't know what's going on with that. In any case, let's go over to some other spots where there's glaciers. Looks like plenty of snow in the Alps. And check out Asia. Just a little bit snowy, wouldn't you say? Gee, I'm really worried about glaciers melting, folks. What about you? Here's the Rutgers updated yesterday, day 343, snow cover for the Northern Hemisphere. And it's looking pretty snowy to me. I don't know. Now, let's talk about phys.org's Earth section. Please go there and look at the articles. They are global warming, global warming, global warming, global warming, global warming, global warming. It's caused by carbon dioxide, global warming, global warming. Could dark carbon be hiding the true scale of ocean dead zones? There are less global warming articles than when I looked this morning, but man, oh man, are there a lot of global warming articles. Anyway, let's just move on to the question of why Asteroid Bennu is spewing a bunch of rocks into space and how astronomy and cosmology are being rewritten for real, in a good way, in some instances. So check this one out. This is a animation of actual data taken from OSIRIS-REx, and you can see some of the material got ejected and some of the material was eventually apparently collapsed back down. Ones that vanished, they got behind Bennu's shadow, so they were unable to be tracked. But in any case, interesting. But here's the real story, folks. The real story is, and allow me to quote, as there are various different mechanisms which could be attributed to this behavior, and apparently electrostatics were actually considered. Now, of course, they're still a bit in a haze, not a cometary haze, but anyway, this thing appears like a bunch of rocks. There is really no indication of any ice, for instance, like a cometary ice tail or anything like that. It's just all a bunch of rocks being ejected, apparently. But the good news is, and I swear I'm going to find it, there are a variety of causes for asteroids behaving like Bennu: sublimating ice, which has not been observed, I'll reiterate; impacts, which have not been observed, I reiterate; rotational instability, which has not been observed; thermal fractures, not observed; and electrostatic repulsion are some of them. Now, perhaps that was observed, as we saw a bunch of particles being flung into space with no other explanation. So just use Occam's razor, folks. Pick the most likely scenario. This thing's been well scanned, so there are no indications of any of those first causes. It appears to be losing mass. Please leave a comment if you think it's because of difference in capacitance as it travels through the solar system and bounces back and forth between electric or magnetic fields, or a combination of the two. Now, remember a couple months ago, I don't know, maybe a month ago, month and a half, 2 months ago, we covered a giant mass of pumice drifting, and there was a great YouTube video about some boat that sailed through it. Check it out. I don't know if you saw it or not. We'll just play a little clip here. Sailing through a horrifying field of pumice that goes as far as the eye can see. Now, some of those rocks are about the size of a basketball, but most of them were about 2 inches in diameter. Apparently, this thing has gotten all the way to where it appears to be about to collide with the Great Barrier Reef off of Australia. And this is a prime example of the way volcanism not only makes the planet cooler, but it also seeds life. So this is Hopeful to those who are very concerned about the corals in the Great Barrier Reef not recovering from ocean acidification and so on and so forth, even though these things are much, much older than, well, most ground-dwelling species, if not all ground-dwelling species. In any case, it's good news for the Great Barrier Reef, apparently, as it's expected to seed the area with a lot of sulfur and so on, which is great for life, as it's a known thing that volcanoes make the planet cooler while at the same time seeding lots of sulfur, which make plants and other things, including humans, grow better. Another great article about experiments going on in space. Check out this quote. In outer space, adhesion causes dust particles to stick together. Large particles, however, can combine due to gravity, an essential process in forming asteroids and planets. Is that so? Check this out. Similar to conditions in interplanetary space, particles develop strong electrical charges spontaneously and stick together, forming aggregates. You get that, folks? This is another tool in the cosmic toolbox. Electrical charges spontaneously stick together, forming large aggregates. So, remarkably, although like charges repel, like charge aggregates form nonetheless, apparently because the charges are strong enough to polarize one another and therefore act like magnets. Please leave a comment if that's a surprise, not a surprise, noteworthy at all, etc. Basically, everything either attracts or repels in space, folks. So this is a good thing. It's another step in the right direction in terms of astrophysics. So holla. Check out this controversial one. Shout out to people like Christian Westbrook, David Devine, and David Moriello, as this one is on Zero Hedge talking about, contrary to conventional wisdom, U.S. farmers are having their best year since 2013. What do you say? Now, I'm not going to cite any of the articles, and I haven't vetted this, as this is basically for income, and government bailouts are a part of this. So this includes government prop-ups of, I believe, $22.4 billion. There you go. So this is still a legit trade war going on, folks. Let's hope farm profits don't get as low as they were around 2008 and 2009. I don't have the data on that, but there it is going back to 2011. And that's the direct farm program payments. So government spending and interference in the economy is not going to be endorsed on this channel ever. Were you aware that there was another salad E. coli recall? Consumers should avoid Fresh Express sunflower crisp chopped salad kits with expiration dates of up to and including December 7th, the CDC pronounced Monday. So they'll have a partial UPC of 0 space 71279 space 30906 space 4 and a lot code of Z. They're not sure exactly what the ultimate cause is, just that those appear to be among the recalled lots. So this company from Salinas, California, apparently not their first time. Bad news out of Chile, as a military plane, a C-130, has been lost on its way to Antarctica and most likely not particularly survivable. They lost radio contact, etc. Links to this article as well as the rest below the video. And thanks again, Smash team, for tuning in. We got more bonus features talking about Google. When your search results are screwed and everything gets skewed, that's a Google. When they think they can break the web, and that's obviously not the case, that's a Google. Anyway, Google's been trying to ruin the internet since at least 2016, when they tried to affect U.S. election results. Let's talk about the way they're trying to track you in order to, I don't know, put stupid ads on your Google Maps and waste your time and cause you to crash your car because they're not showing you a map of the traffic, and instead they're showing you a bunch of nonsense about the local coffee shops and other crap that they want to advertise because companies are dumb enough to pay Google a red cent to advertise for them? Key points. Google Maps tracks you everywhere you go. There's a tool that lets you automatically delete your location. This prevents Google from automatically logging years of your location data on its servers. Do you want years of your location data on Google servers? Are you ungoogleable? Here's where the author was over that period of time, and I wouldn't even divulge that much information. This guy showed up in my hometown. Oh my goodness. Anyway, here's the way you do it. You go into Google Maps and you click on that menu bar on the upper left, and then you click on your timeline, and then you tap the three dots in the upper right, and then you choose settings and privacy, and then you automatically delete location history. Of course, I manually deleted it and then said keep for 3 months. That's the lowest you could possibly get. I also keep Google location services turned off at all times unless I'm allowing Google Maps to navigate for me, which is a rare thing, especially on my personal phone, as I have a business phone to do my job, where tracking is actually a good thing, to some degree, although it does violate confidentiality agreements. And we won't get into it. Let's talk about polar bears. Here's one of my epic quotes. And by the way, follow ElectroverseNet at Instagram and wherever else. But ElectroverseNet is a great one. And let's post a screenshot of a comment. For idiots who do not understand polar bears nor atmospheric physics, polar bears move south in winter, especially in excessive cold, because if ice is too thick, they cannot obtain their favorite food, seals. This is why polar bears invade towns, because of cold, not because of warm. I love when global warming alarmists cite melting ice killing polar bears. Less ice means easier times for polar bears, not to mention human beings, not vice versa. Anyway, check us out on Instagram as well as ElectroverseNet. It looks like they're pretty active on here. And this was in response to their Russian villagers drive away 60-plus polar bears with nothing but flares and a bulldozer. Well done, Russian villagers. I wouldn't be doing it. I would be inside of some sort of a steel cage with a shotgun, I guess. Anyway, here's another one about Google. Do something about it, Google. Just keep it legal. Now, are you aware that Google used to have the words "don't be evil" in their corporate doctrine? Do you know why Google had the words "don't be evil" in its corporate doctrine? Well, it's because Google realized that it had the capacity to do great evil and harm. When they asked engineers what they should do about it, engineers said, I don't know, don't be evil. What any reasonable engineer would do. Anyway, since then, Google has removed this terminology from their corporate doctrine, which means I guess now they're free to be as evil as they like, which is probably not a smart idea. Do you own Google stock? Do you feel like if they're doing evil, it could be misleading shareholders? Do you think maybe they removed it from their corporate doctrine because lawyers told them to? Because having that in your corporate doctrine is not cute or funny. It just indicates that you're aware that you could do great evil, which means you should take steps to curtail yourself from doing great evil. And therefore, that's Google. Anyway, the world's leading manufacturer of junkware and owner of servers and provider of censorship, Google, wasting billions and billions of minutes every single day on billions and billions of Android devices. That's billions with a B. By the way, if you enjoy the content, please press like and subscribe on YouTube. And don't forget to follow us on other social media. And don't forget to not use Google as a verb. We're hoping this will be out of the vernacular in a few years, as using Google as a verb means to obtain utterly biased search results that are bought off using the utterly biased and politically advocating search engine known as Google. So if you want biased search results, Google it. Otherwise, do a web search on some sort of real search engine with some ability to obtain unbiased results. Do test yourself, folks, if you don't believe me. Do a test with a guy in Des Moines versus a guy in Mexico City versus a guy in Finland, and just let us know what the results are. And please support the channel on Patreon, as YouTube pays us precisely nothing. As you could probably suspect from the content of these videos, we don't really care, as we prefer to not have a financial relationship with Google, as that's likely to put us in jail, as Google's own behavior is likely to put its board in jail. Have fun with that. And by the way, if you own Google stock, while this is not official investment advice, and while I'm not licensed to give any, I would sell it. And if I was on the board, I would move to a country without extradition treaties and move my assets to Seychelles, or perhaps the Cayman Islands, or maybe even Switzerland would work. Anyway, check us out on patreon.com. You'll get some information before all the rest of the humans. Also, check us out on Twitch, as we've been doing live streams lately and uploading videos like this one to BitChute to provide early access. Also, check out smashomash.org. It's got links to some of our social media, as well as ways to donate to the cause. So thanks to all of those who have, increasing the probability that the hammer of smashness will continue to fall where it may. Thanks also Smash Team for tuning in, and stay tuned for 0 bonus features as we are out. So have a delightful day. Please leave a comment. Please share on your social media. And remember, it'll never be now again.